At Total Pharmacy Care, we fill your prescriptions and answer any questions about your medications. No distractions and no long lines. Tell your doctor to send your prescriptions to Total Pharmacy Care. Welcome back to another episode of the Unwired App podcast, coolest podcast around. Season 2, episode 18. Shout out to Randall Cobb. The Cowboys didn't make the playoffs.
Of course they didn't.
You hate to see it.
I know everybody's expecting Peyton Manning. We're not shouting Peyton Manning.
Also, Freddie Kitchens got fired. Big surprise.
Surprise
there.
Needed to happen, though. It needed to happen.
For sure. I mean,
if you let the Bengals beat you in the last game of the season, you deserve to get fired.
Yeah, Bengals still with the number one pick. Anyway, We'll get into that here in a few minutes. Real quick, we want to say thank you to our sponsors, Bruce Walters. Bruce Walters has just updated pricing on all of their new inventory. Go check them out at brucewaltersford.net if you're in the market for a new or used vehicle.
We're also brought to you by Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps. If you are looking for quality care for loved ones, look no further than Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps. Both facilities treat your loved ones with care and respect. They offer therapy, daily activities, exquisite cuisine, and home-like settings to make your family members feel at home. Call to schedule an appointment today. At Cedar Creek, call Jessica Thacker at 432-8243, and at Good Shepherd, call 456-8725. Caring for your loved ones is what we do best.
All right, ladies, I've had my flu shots, courtesy of Nova Pharmacy and Caremore Pharmacy. So if you see me out on the street, give me a kiss. You won't get sick. But you should go get your flu shots there, courtesy of Joel and Sandy Thornberry. You can call them at 606-432-2274. That's Nova Pharmacy, or 639-2273 at Caremore Pharmacy.
I mean,
that is impressive.
That's the selling point. That's the selling point. The flu shot is probably the clincher. Good for you.
Let us know how that works out for you.
Good for you.
I'm not going to get any kisses. But I will be packing mistletoe.
It's New Year's, so we hope everybody had a.
It's after Christmas.
Yeah, it's after Christmas. That doesn't mean it wouldn't be.
I'm just festive.
Yeah, it wouldn't be crazy to walk around with mistletoe in your pocket all the time. Do what you got to do out here.
I guess
if it works for you, it works for you. We hope everybody had a great Christmas with their friends and family. How was your? You have a
great Christmas.
Christmas for you. Yeah, I had a good Christmas too. New Year's coming up. As you can see, we are in the middle of Appalachian Wireless Arena, where things over the past weekend could not have been
crazier.
More, yeah. I mean, it was just absolutely bananas. Tyler Childers, Friday and Saturday night, 2 sold-out shows. Went really great.
Yeah.
No huge problems.
Town has been packed. It's been jumping. Everything's been, lively. People were out and about, even early on. I went and watched the UK game out earlier that day. Even before that, places in town were packed, just getting ready for the Tyler Childers concert.
Yeah, there's no hotel rooms. All of the hotels are pretty much packed out, so it was great for the whole town. And it was great to see 6,000 people both nights basically come out and enjoy themselves. And these guys have been great to work with, but it's kept us very busy. Mm-hmm. So busy, in fact, that I wasn't able to catch any of the college football playoff matchups on Saturday or the UK game, which I know was an absolutely instant classic with Louisville going into overtime. So I guess we'll just start out with that. Kentucky able to pull out a big win over
78-70 in overtime. And, they had chances to win that one in regulation. Probably should have won it in regulation. It gets to that point where when it goes to overtime, you're thinking, oh, man, that we missed our shot because we had a tip at the end of regulation that went in and came out. But in overtime, Nick Richards, you got to give him credit. He had a double-double, big game for Nick Richards. Maxey is our best scorer, 27 points. To me, that's our biggest concern right now is scoring. We got to have somebody who can step up and shoot the ball besides Tyrese Maxey. I mean, he was our only option Saturday. And he took a lot of big shots and made a lot of big shots. But down the stretch, defenses are going to adjust to that. So we need another scorer.
Well, I think it's been the surprise so far in the season. I think for most of us going in, we thought we would be an elite defensive team just because they're so athletic, they're so long. So far, that hasn't been the case. Ashton Hagans, we know for a fact, is a great defender.
Oh, great.
didn't get the points we need from him against Louisville. Looks like 8 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. So, I mean, had a pretty decent game, running the offense. But as far as, Emmanuel quickly had 18 points. But Maxey's the guy that, we're going to be relying on to get those big buckets. He's just so far been pretty hot and cold, just touch and go.
Yeah. As great as Maxey plays, we have to recognize the job that Quickly did, especially at the free throw line. The guy stepped up in big situations and made all of his free throws. I think he finished 8 for 8 on the game. Some tough pressure situations as well. So, I mean, that's always been an Achilles heel for a Kentucky team is the free throw shooting. It's been one of the, positives for this team. I think they're shooting around the 80% right now. Quickly's 94, 95% on the season so far. So
yeah, I mean, this team's going to continue to grow. A couple of big wins, a couple of bad losses too. It's kind of the trademark of these Cal teams early on. They're just so young. It's going to be hard to predict in the early going of a season, but as the season continues on, we get better and better. That's just kind of the way this thing goes. And then the bowl game coming up tomorrow at noon. I personally hate to see it because, again, I'm probably not going to be able to watch very much, if any, of this game because of the New Year's run. Tyler Childers, obviously, third night here at the Appalachian Wireless Arena is tomorrow. Going up against Virginia Tech, I think Kentucky's still the underdog in this game by a couple of points. Yeah. To me, I think
it's a toss-up game.
I think Kentucky wins by double digits.
We can. I think it depends on how we show up early. We got to move the ball. We got to score the ball. We can't do anything stupid on defense and give up easy points. Come out and you do what you're supposed to. I think they win this game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys. I think Kentucky's got a really good shot at taking home this bowl game, especially if they can establish the run from someone other than Lynn Bowden.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
And what's going to be big for that game is be 2 bowl game wins in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's the kind of consistency we need to build a program. We're getting there. Now we just got to get the wins.
And Mark Stoops doing a great job. That coaching staff's doing great at recruiting. Now hopefully get 2 bowl wins in a row, coming off the best season in the history of Kentucky football, at least in any of our memories. And then we'll jump straight into a little bit of NFL. I know this guy. He's got his Ravens hat on. Ravens clinching a first-round bye along with the Chiefs in the AFC. How do you feel about who do you feel like the Ravens are the? I know they're the odds-on favorite to come out of the AFC. Do you feel like they're the favorite?
If I was betting on it, I'd probably bet Kansas City. I mean, they can put up points in a hurry. Their defense is better than they have been. But I mean, if you're going in right now, you got to say until somebody beats them, Baltimore. But you never can underestimate the New England Patriots either. I don't care if they did get beat yesterday by
the Dolphins.
Well, the thing with
magic.
New England is this is the first time in maybe 6 or 7 years that the Patriots are going to have to be on the road in the playoffs. So that's a big factor to maybe just think about.
Well, and generally we see the Patriots really hit their stride later in the season, almost like they sandbagged through the regular season. They really start to turn things up around the last couple of weeks of the season and playoff time. We're not seeing that this year. They're going to definitely have a tough task because I think the Tennessee Titans are a dangerous football team.
Derrick
Henry is
Derrick Henry. He claimed the rushing title.
Yeah, got the rushing title.
A former Patriot coaching them up there, Mike Vrabel, who's done an excellent job. Tannehill's come in, and that's been a different offense since he's taken over.
Well, I mean, actually, this is the Ryan Tannehill we expected when he got drafted, and now we're just now getting it after.
I think he was just in the wrong system. He never could quite stay healthy in Miami.
It was Miami, though.
Yeah, he was a guy that I felt like always could play.
Yeah,
he just was in the wrong system. Vrabel's done a great job with him, and they probably kept Marcus Mariota in at quarterback for a couple of weeks too long.
Probably, yeah.
I know they wanted to try to give him one last chance. That was their franchise guy. But if you're the Patriots, you probably you would probably rather play anybody but Tennessee just because of the Vrabel factor, in the whole equation. NFC odds-on favorite right now. Who do you feel like is the favorite to come out of the NFC with?
Man, I like San Fran. I don't know if that's going to hold true, but I like how they're playing. I mean, that's a good team, fun to watch. That defense gets after it. Right now, I like San Fran.
I think I'm going to go with Seattle, man. I know that, and it's not just because they brought back Marshawn Lynch. That's not the reason that I'm picking them. It's because Russell Wilson has had, by all intents and purposes, the real MVP season.
Well, I don't know. He at first, for sure.
Yeah, I think
your boy might have overtaken him mid to late season.
Yeah, I think Lamar is no doubt the MVP this year.
I think Russell Wilson was playing like he was a clear-cut choice for the MVP.
Early on, probably the first 6-7 weeks. And then
all right,
Lamar.
I was trying to be humble.
No, listen, Lamar Jackson,
know, man,
until somebody figures out how to do something with this guy, and NFL defensive coaches
right now he's made people look silly.
Yeah, he's making people look very bad. I personally, I think I'm sticking with the Saints. I'm pretty sure I picked the Saints at the first of the season.
You did.
I'm going to stick with the Saints. They go up against, listen, there's some good teams in the NFC. A lot of 10-6. The Bills.
The Vikings are dangerous. I love the coach up there.
I do love Randy's 49ers pick just because I would love to see a Ravens-49ers rematch in the Super Bowl.
The Packers, I feel like, kind of stink at 13-3. I almost feel like that's
We'll
fluky.
see if
I don't know. I mean,
Rodgers
it's been a weird
flips the
Patriots. It's been a weird Packers season. I mean, defense first, getting points when you need them, running the ball. I mean, they run the ball maybe better than anybody.
Yeah, Detroit had them down yesterday, too. They kind of had to come back there in the second half to pull that game off against the Lions, and I have no faith in the Packers. I definitely have much more faith in the 49ers. I'm sticking with the Saints.
I like it.
And then we'll talk about the college football playoff. LSU handled business. They could have scored 200 points.
Oh my goodness! I said before, like a couple of weeks ago, me and you were talking, and it turned out to be Clemson LSU.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is on a different planet right now.
Well,
what he did in that first half against Oklahoma, I don't care where you're at. You throw for 7 touchdowns
in the first half
and over 400 yards in a half, you're balling out. Like, the dude is unbelievable.
Well, I don't think it was any surprise that Oklahoma's defense is awful.
No.
I mean, they're awful.
I did not expect that in the first half.
Neither did I. I didn't expect it to be that big of a blowout. I expected LSU to win. I just didn't expect it to be that big of a blowout. That gives me a little bit of concern going into the Clemson game. I obviously picked LSU to win the whole thing, but listen, Clemson pulled out a tough win.
They looked dead in the water early on. I mean, they had to come back and play. And I know a lot of Ohio State fans are going to talk about the catch and the fumble.
Mm-hmm.
It is the call is what it is. They probably got it wrong, but, Ohio State still had chances after that, and nobody's talking about that, They had some 4th and 4s and stuff, and they pumped. So, I don't know. I mean, to me, Clemson, maybe it's a different game if that call doesn't go their way, but, you got to give Clemson credit because they came back in that game.
Well, and I think when you look at it, you're going to get what you want out of this national championship game. You're getting 2 of the best quarterbacks, if not the 2 best quarterbacks in college football.
Yeah.
One of them is a guaranteed first overall pick, pretty much. Probably going to go home and play for Cincinnati, which will be awesome.
And then Trevor Lawrence next year is probably the number 1 pick as well.
He'd be the number 1 pick if he came out this year.
Yeah, he would be.
Well, listen, Clemson, Dabo Swinney's definitely playing up that disrespect card. I mean, Clemson, for a team that's gone now 2 seasons undefeated, it's just because the ACC is so soft.
They are.
The ACC was terrible the last 2 years. That's not Clemson's fault.
No.
Clemson's played very well. They've kind of handled business. They, had a few hiccups early in the season, still able to pull out wins. This is going to be a huge game. I haven't seen the early odds at all.
I would imagine LSU by 8.5 to
maybe
10.
I don't know. I mean, it may be closer than that, but
I hope so.
You're sticking with Clemson?
I'm sticking with Clemson. I'm sticking with them. I mean, it's going to be tough to stop Joe Burrow and that offense, but I think if anybody can, it's Clemson.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and I said this last year. Now I wasn't on this show last year or anything, but I think Dabo Swinney might be maybe the best coaching college football right now.
So it's him or Nick Saban. I think that's the argument.
And I think if anybody's going to find a way to scheme against this LSU offense, it's going to be Dabo, and he's got the talent on that Clemson defense to be able to stop it, well, or at least contain it. You know what I mean? Like Joe Burrow's going to put up numbers, and those great receivers are going to.
The Clemson offense pretty much shut down any pass rush Chase Young had from Ohio State, which is unheard of.
Nobody else has been.
And they did some double teams and brought up some running backs and chips and what you have to do. But he still didn't. He wasn't a factor in that game.
Well, and that's things that other teams all year have been running at him, and it still hasn't slowed him down. Obviously, I'm sticking with Coach O. I'd just love to see that guy get a win. Can you imagine after the game, the interview? That guy's going to be a mumbling, crying mess.
Oh, dude.
It's going to be the greatest interview
He said
ever.
something about Louisiana being on fire. Like the state of Louisiana will literally be on fire if they win this national title.
Yeah.
And look, it's going to be a great game. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm sticking with I'm sticking with LSU.
You got to. You've been there all year.
I've been with LSU for 2 years now.
Yeah, you've been there all year.
And then we got a couple of little local things to touch on.
Yeah.
LSU's plus 6.
Wow.
I mean, I felt like it couldn't be too far away. I mean, it's got to be close. And I bet that'll go down because people are going to be putting money on Clemson all day long. I feel like
LSU's up.
Yeah, they're a 6-point favorite. Yeah,
they're a 6-point favorite. Clemson, this is going to be a close game. I don't see any way this isn't a close game. I think Clemson has the athletes on defense.
I think if Clemson can keep them in the 20s, they got a legit shot. If LSU finds a way to put up 40, I think they win it. I mean, I don't know if Clemson's going to put up 40 points against that LSU
I don't
defense.
think LSU. I don't think Clemson. I think this game ends up being in the mid to high 20s. I don't see it getting that.
My prediction was 24-23. I think it's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be really close. I got Clemson to win, but it's only because I think that we're going to see Trevor Lawrence maybe win 3 national titles before he goes into the draft.
That'd be unprecedented for sure.
You got to get this one if you want to win 3.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to get this one.
You got to think, Joe. We're watching possibly the next quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals playing in this game. Very likely.
Oh yeah, I think he locked that up with that first half and the way it's going to be something crazy. He's going to have to get hurt between now and
or just have a terrible showing at his pro day or combine. Something.
I think he's almost locked that up as much as you can. So.
Well, I don't think anybody.
And shout out to the Bengals for beating the Browns on the final.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah,
you're going to win 2 games. One of them's going to be against the Browns. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good.
The Browns are just the most epic, just god awful franchise.
And just seeing a little bit of that, there's no way the Bengals should have beat them. But they were more physical. They made the plays. They made better decisions. It's something to grow on.
And all the people that were picking the Browns to go to the playoffs before this season started, come on.
I mean,
that was just on paper. That's a great team.
Yeah, on paper, but it's like we said, it's still the Browns are still the Browns until something happens.
Hey, I was one of those people that picked them to go to the playoffs, but I thought the AFC North was going to be a super tough, a lot tougher than what it was.
It is super tough for everybody, but the Ravens, they were the clear-cut best team in there. But, I mean, there was every game that those teams played each other were close. I mean, nobody blew anybody out.
Yeah, and credit to and this, I don't want to give the Steelers any credit, but he held that team together.
That was the best coaching job he's done. And real quick before we get done here, we had Pie-Foo Invitational Tournament, the boys and girls over the weekend. The Schoolboy Classic, Josh got to go out. So great games. Just high school is underway. And just some of the things that stand out right now. Early in the season, we got some players that we're going to shout out real quick. For Shelby Valley, Cody Potter, 26 points a game, 9.9 rebounds. He's shooting 44% from 3-point. Pie-Foo's Riley Salmons, 16.2 points per game, 40% from deep. Trey Francis from Phelps, 18.8 points per game, 10.6 rebounds per game. Belfry's Sal Dean, 14.1 points per game. Paintsville's Kobe Fugit, 22.7 points per game. Johnson Central's Isaiah May is scoring 21.2 points per game. Corey Van Host from Johnson Central, 17.4. Betsy Lane's Jordan Frazier, 19.8. Martin County's Trey James, 15 points and 11 rebounds a game. Martin County's Brady Dingus, 18 points a game, and Petersburg's Gunnar Williams at 16.7 points per game. A lot of talent right now in this region. First month of the season, we got All A coming up here at the Expo, coming up earlier this season. And, we'll get to check some of that out. So, I mean, a lot of high school stuff going on right now.
3, 2, 1. So there's definitely I wasn't even going to do it. It scared me a little bit. Look, this is going to be an epic high school basketball season. We've been talking about that since last year. At the end of basketball season, I think there's going to be a lot of great things to look forward to this year.
Yeah.
In boys and girls basketball.
Yeah, we shouted out some of those boys. We'll come back next week and have some girls' numbers and show what they're doing because we got some great girls who are playing right now too. So.
And you've got a little something. What you got? Go ahead.
Yeah. Speaking of great girls teams and performers, I know Tug Valley over the weekend traveled to Sissonsville and went 2-0 down there, picking up a big win over St. Albans.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to give a shout out to Drew Hatfield for winning the Moss Award. I'm a little late on it, but Merry Christmas.
And
Bub.
he was on our first team All Mountain.
Yeah.
Jackson Hensley was our Player of the Year. Wes didn't sit down with us last week, but shout out to all those guys. I mean, that was a tough decision for that. I mean, Drew Hatfield could have been our Player of the Year, and nobody could have argued that. I don't think.
Well, and only envision more of those tough decisions when it comes to All Mountain basketball at the end of this year. So
that's going to be rough.
Be on the lookout for these guys' columns in the Appalachian newspapers. They're out here working hard, covering all these local sports and athletes. And come by if you got Tyler Childers tickets for New Year's Eve, which they won't see this till after New Year's Eve. So you know what? Forget I even said anything.
If you were there, it would be great.
I don't even know why I brought it up. Anyway, we hope everybody has a great New Year's. Good luck in 2020.
2020.
Wow.
Man.
It's going to be my year.
No flying cars, no jets.
No flying cars. Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Come on,
Elon Musk, get it together.
Elon Musk has got to get it together because I envision having at least a hoverboard by now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like an actual hoverboard.
Yeah. That would be so awesome.
Thanks again for joining us. Before things get too far off the rails here, thanks again for joining us for another episode of Unwired Appalachia. We'll see you next week. Talk a little bowl game, a little college football playoff. We'll have a little bit more local sports for you, and we'll see you next week. For Josh Blankenship, Mr. Big Lens.
Mr. Flu Shot.
Mr. Flu Shot.
Getting kisses.
I like that. I like that. Ladies, holler at this guy.
Yeah,
Randy White. I'm Wes. Corey Vance behind the camera. We'll see you next week.